Hello.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
How are you doing
today?
I'm fine.
No,
it's
we're
okay.
talking today. It's okay. It's okay.
But it's fine.
It's okay.
So today is a very, very special, extremely important episode. It's not going to be an episode like we usually do. This episode is out on the 20th of October 2021. And we felt it was very important that we not just have a regular episode like everything is normal, because it's not.
Yeah. And so, it's very important that I don't think any of us can forget, but that we don't forget what happened on that day. And so really what this episode is giving stories to people who were affected the most by everything that happened on that day, so that you can really hear what the impact of it has been. And whilst in many ways, everybody's life went in a different way in the past year, some people have to carry what that day was, longer than others. And so, yes.
So we have a few stories, like Fekemi said, of a number of people whose lives were forever changed in a more direct way than the rest of us on the 20th of October 2020. And we're going to start off our conversation with Vatai. And Vatai.
Thank you so much for coming and for sharing with us and sharing with everybody else. So, I guess we will jump to it. So tell us a bit about your story and how it was for you and your family leading up to the 20th and also on the 20th.
Ọjọ́ náà jẹ́ ọjọ́ ìbànújẹ́ nínú ẹbí wa. Ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ kan tẹ́ pé ó dùn ẹni púpọ̀ jù. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, òun ni èmi tẹ̀lé. Mo máa ti ń lọ sí protesting like a week before that time. So the patient ṣẹlẹ̀.
That day was a very bad day for myself and my family. I followed my elder brother to the protest.
Mo máa ti ń lọ síbẹ̀ kó di pé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà ṣẹlẹ̀. Ọjọ́ náà, èmi àti wọn ní àbájọ lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n èmi ò feel like pé kí n lọ síbẹ̀. Àwọn dẹ̀ ní pé wọ́n máa lọ because wọ́n need àti débẹ̀. Mímí dẹ̀ rẹ̀ ṣe dé láti ibi iṣẹ́ ni ó dẹ̀ rẹ̀ mi.
I went with my elder brother, although I didn't exactly feel like going, but he persuaded me and then we went because I just came back from work and I was tired.
Was he working at the protest? Was he one of the volunteers?
No, he's not working. Cause ṣiṣẹ́ ń bẹ̀. Ọkàn máa ń lọ pé kí àwọn lè jọba pẹ̀lú àwọn tó ń lọ sí protest yẹn. Àwọn náà jẹ́ bí ẹni tó ń protest náà. So, mo máa ń lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, àjọ máa ń lọ tẹ́lẹ̀ ni, but ọjọ́ yẹn ó wá jẹ́jọ́ tí mo tẹ̀lé wọn lọ. Ṣàdédé ni mo wà nílé.
He was one of the protesters and I was at home one day when he called me to join him at the protest ground.
So, mo pè mí wọ́n pé ìbọn gba ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ò, mo ní irọ́ ni. So, mo try number wọn that midnight ní orí yẹn, mo try number wọn. Number wọn ring, kò sẹ́nibọ̀ tó pick ẹ̀.
I got a phone call when I was at home that my brother had been shot and I felt like that was a lie. I kept on calling his phone number till midnight, but no one was responding.
Do you know who called you?
Yes.
Okay.
Nígbà tí wọ́n pè mí ẹ̀, bí mo ṣe try number wọn kò lọ. Mo pe mọ́ mi ọ pé ìkan báyìí ni mo gbọ́ o. Wọ́n ní kí n try number ọ̀pẹ́ náà níjẹ́ kó jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo try number wọn. Number wọn lọ náà. Àwọn náà try.
I kept on calling my brother's number, but it wasn't going through. So I told my mom that this is the news I had just gotten, but she just kept insisting that we kept calling his number just to make sure that nothing like that happened for real.
Nígbà tí àwọn náà dẹ̀ tí ó pè wọ́n tí number yẹn lọ, so I need to make movement láti lọ. Ìgbà tá dé Toll Gates ní ọjọ́ náà, ó jẹ́ kan tó báyàn nínú jẹ́ gan.
When we got to the toll gate that night, it was a terrible sight.
Yes.
Around what time did you go?
I did maybe after 4 to 5. Ni àwa débẹ̀.
We got there around after 4 towards 5 p.m.
So ìgbà tá débẹ̀, a wá wọn náà, a kọ́ wá wọn, àárí wọn. bí tí a ti ń wá àwọn kan náà ń sáré bíi pé wọ́n fẹ́ attack kan báyìí ṣà ń ṣẹlẹ̀. So our confidence ní ibẹ̀ gangan àá náà sá. A tẹ̀ tún miss ara gan.
Okay, you missed your...
Yes.
When we got there, everywhere was just chaotic because everybody kept running helter-skelter. So we got confused and even ran for our lives until we even missed ourselves.
Nígbà tí a máa padà rí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, ó ṣe mí, but kò ní life, kò ní strength mọ́.
When we finally saw my brother, he was still alive, he was breathing, but you could tell that he was unconscious.
Bàtà máa lẹ ní ká lè try àti save ẹ̀mí wọn ní òru yẹn mọ́júmọ́. A gbé wọn lọ sí nearest hospital tó wà ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa. That was Ifeoluwa private hospital.
When we saw him, we tried to rush him to the closest hospital to our side, and that was Ifeoluwa Hospital.
Àdẹ̀díbẹ̀, wọ́n ní pé wọ́n lè gbà wá. Sọ pé a máa need police report. Àbúrò mọ́ mi.
When we got to the hospital with my brother, the hospital told us they would not be admitting us because we needed a police report. And so we tried to call my mom's younger brother.
So, ìgbà tá máa lọ sí police station, wọn ò ṣí gate, wọ́n bí a riot kan máa ṣẹlẹ̀. So, ìgbà tá máa fi lọ, tá máa nígbà fi dé, ó ti dákẹ́. So, a ní option. A ṣáà dúró síwájú hospital yẹn di ilẹ̀ mọ́.
When we got to the police station, they did not open the gate to us because they thought we were about to break a riot or something like that. But by the time we had to go back to the hospital, my brother had already died. So we had to just sit in front of the hospital and wait.
Nígbà tá máa padà lọ sílé ní àárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì, wọ́n ní tá máa fẹ́ make any movement pé a fẹ́ lọ sí wọn sí ilé dáadé wa. I might need the police report, no again.
Who told you that?
As in, all audience tó wà mọ́ tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀. Pé kó má dàbí pé tọ́lọ́pàá máa dá wa dúró lójú ọ̀nà, a máa fẹ́ ní challenges. A tún lọ sí.
When we got home and we thought about how to bury him and make his burial arrangements, people around us were telling us we would still need a police report just in case while we're transferring the body and they stop us, we don't have, we have a good excuse or probably a good reply to give to them.
So, nígbà tí ó sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, èmi àti àbúrò mọ́ èmi yẹn, pẹ̀lú mọ́ èmi gangan, a tún lọ sí Jakonde police station yẹn. Ìgbà yẹn wọ́n ṣe wá ṣí gate. Wọ́n ọlọ́pàá yẹn wo everybody, but kò ṣí gate. Wọ́n believe be a riot or anything because àdúgbò kan ti scatter people fẹ́.
Me, my mom, and my uncle finally decided to go to Jakonde police station. And when we got there, the same thing happened. The police officers did not open the gates because they thought we were part of the people that would cause a riot or something like that.
I had a big mistake pé ká máa lọ. Anything tó máa happen, máa explain fún ojú ọ̀nà.
At this point, we decided to just go back, that whatever happens on the road, we'll just tell whoever stops us the truth or the story.
Bá a ṣe ti dé bẹ́ẹ̀, a dúpẹ́ pé kò sí ìpèníjà kan bá dé ibi tá à ń lọ. Everything dẹ̀ lọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí everybody ṣe rò. Ó jẹ́ òkú ìbànújẹ́ fún ẹbí nígbà tá a máa délé.
When we got there and we moved the body, fortunately for us, it was a smooth ride. Nobody stopped us on the road and everything. But when we got to the family house, you could tell that everybody was sad. It was a very painful thing to the family.
Bá a ṣe sí wọn tán, bàtà sí wọn, I believe pé we are only pé Lagos state government ìkankan máa ṣùgbọ́n máa ṣàwó agbègbèsẹ̀, but kò sí àní like helper, àní bí background tí a lè sọ pé ibi báyìí la máa lọ, or bí director ẹni tó máa direct wa, ibi báyìí la máa gbà. So since then, I die case through ourselves.
After the burial, we heard things about maybe the Lagos state government trying to help the family members of the deceased, but we didn't really have anybody who could put us through the methods or what we needed to do to get the necessary help.
Bí a ṣe dákẹ́ láti gbà nìyẹn lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí ìtúpẹ́ wà báyìí.
So we decided to just let go of the case until today.
Wow. I'm so sorry that you've had to deal with that. Ekpeleme.
Can you tell people a little bit about the kind of person your brother was?
She won't speak.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi jẹ́ mechanical engineer, generator mechanical engineer ni iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe. Ó dẹ̀ máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ náà dáadáa. Ní àdúgbò tí wọ́n ń gbé ní agbègbè Jákàndé.
My brother was a mechanical engineer. He specialized in generators and he was very good at his job. He used to walk around Jakonde.
Does your mom want to say more about this?
Ṣé nípa ìwé sọ?
Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Bó ti ẹ̀jọ̀ pọ̀ ọmọ náà kú, mo rí gbé. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ló kú ẹ̀ wá lẹ̀ tí wọn ò rí gbé. Ká tó gbé tiwa gan wàhálà pọ̀. Wọ́n dẹ̀ bá mi gbé. Ìgbà tó mí yẹn mo gbé. Owó ojú mi báyìí mo wò. Mo tried best tébó yóò lè yè. Mo dẹ̀ gbé. Mo dẹ̀ gbé lọ sí hospital. Tí wọn ò gbà tó wáyé páwọn lọ hospital gbàngbà yìí, bó yóò lè yè. Ìgbà tí wọn ò dẹ̀ gbà. Sílẹ̀ dẹ̀ ti mọ́ bọ̀. Ọwọ́ mi gan ló dákẹ́ sí. Kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tí mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe. Ó jẹ́ tó bá mi lọ́kàn jẹ́ torí ọmọ méjì ló filẹ̀ fún mi. So kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe. Tí wọ́n bá ní wọ́n ṣe protest bí kan, táwọn èèyàn bá lọ, ìyẹn ò mìíràn pé kán lọ fún àwọn police àbí àwọn sójà dábẹ̀rù ṣe báwọn ògo ọ̀la náà nìyẹn. Ìgbà tí àwọn tí wọ́n dá ló ń kálukú wọn náà ló ń sọ ló ń tọ́ ọmọ rẹ̀ níbi tó dá. Kẹ́sì pé gbogbo àwọn táùtù ló lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn kò wọ́n bá táùtù lọ torí pàtó mi gan débẹ̀ mo bá bed mo bá gas mo bá àwọn èèyàn tó ń ta ń jẹ àwọn èèyàn jàǹkàjàǹkà àwọn bí nǹkan tó gbé mọ́tò wà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn tó lówó wọ́n wà bẹ́ẹ̀ family man wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ìyàwó àtọkọ wà bẹ́ẹ̀ kẹ́sì pé bóyá táùtù ni láti jẹ́ wọ́n tẹ̀ sí lọ wọn ò jà tó bá sì dìdájọ́ kálukú wọn máa wá wọ́n tún máa lọ síbi iṣẹ́ wọn. Ṣùgbọ́n ti láti wọn yẹn ó jẹ́ pé tó mílù títí tó jẹ́ pé ní gbèsè ayé mi kan mi ì lè gbàgbé tó rọ́bọ̀ tó fún mi ní jíjẹ mú mi ní ibẹ̀ yẹn ló gbà lọ. Ìjọ yìí gangan ni ọ̀tà mọ́gbà dẹ́kun. Kò dẹ̀ sí ìrẹ́mọ̀ pé ìjọba lágbára kò sí nǹkan tó yẹ bájọba ṣe ẹ̀sẹ̀ mo lágbára mo lọ́lọ́. Nǹkan tó fẹ́ sọ ni kọ́lọ́ba ṣe kú sí mi fún mi fẹ́ sọ.
Ekpeleme. Do this after. Ekpeleme.
Even if he was dead, I was able to carry his corpse. There were so many people who could not even find their loved one's corpse. And people helped me to carry him as well. Before they helped me to carry him, it was a whole lot of stress. But they helped me. He was lying in my hands and I looked at him and he also looked at me. I tried to keep him alive and we took him to the hospital. But when we got to the hospital, they rejected him. If they had taken him, he would probably still be alive. When the day broke, he died in my hands. There is nothing I can do. It's a very sad thing for me because he left 2 kids for me to cater for. If they say there's a protest tomorrow, they don't have to send police or soldiers to go and scatter everywhere. These same people protesting are the leaders of tomorrow. it's not all touts and miscreants that were at the protest. When I got there, I saw beds, I saw gas cookers, I saw people selling food. In fact, I saw people that are well to do. Everybody was looking good there. Rich people, family men, people that had cars were the kind of people that were there. All this while they've been going for the protest, there were no fights. Everybody used to go, and once it's daybreak, they leave to go to work and come back later in the evening. That very last day of the protest is a day I will never forget. That day shook the whole town, shook the whole country. He was the breadwinner in my family. It was this same day that my son died. We all know how powerful the government is or can be. Who am I to try to pull anything with them? That's why I've left it to God.
So, of course, since then, and nobody, the government didn't show up. Nobody showed up. They even tried to claim that what people saw happened did not happen and nobody was able to reach out for you. How did you keep trying, or how were you able to just reconcile that, or you just decided that, you know what, it's better for us to just carry on instead of trying to follow up with any of this?
Like you said, there's no any cause that very day. Even in tell me going ní ìgbà tá a kọ́ mix yẹn tá a kọ́ everybody dé pàtà àwọn yẹn ìbẹ́ dàbí pé bí a ogun kò yé everybody àwọn kan máa mú àdá àwọn kan everybody bí ẹ̀kọ́ wà scattered but òkúté mi lè yọkùn mi orí lọ́jọ́ yẹn mi rò kú o.
When we got to the place, it was a gory sight. Everybody was in chaos. Everywhere was just scattered. Everyone was confused. And I saw so many cops. It was scary. I was also as confused as everyone. As I said earlier, me and my family members that got there, we even got missing because everyone was just trying to run out of confusion.
Yeah, and they keep trying to deny that there were bodies, that people died, and you have so many people who were there looking for their loved ones, who saw them. And I think that is part of what makes the whole thing so painful, is that the government has never even tried to acknowledge that this happened, whereas there are real families like yours who have lost out. Did you try to be involved with anything with the panel or anything like that? Did you just show panel?
Is there any reason why?
There's not any reason. We don't have capacity. And agbára. Any backup kankan. As in family were like our own family gone. Our low to pay amani pay ìkan tí a ní kama ìṣẹ́ nígbà bẹ́ẹ̀ nílò wá ẹni báyìí tó máa bá a ṣe kéèsì báyìí no a ní so a lè gbé gbèsè báyìí.
My family members and I are not exactly the most buoyant people, and we could not afford to use the little we had to try to pursue or say we want to look for a panel. And because we didn't have any intermediary or someone who could assist us in the process, we just decided to let the case go.
So when people say things like nobody died or that nothing happened at the Lekki Toll Gates, or that maybe it was, a popular excuse is that it was, touts and cult boys and that were fighting or that died. It's very painful to hear, but for people who lost family members and have bought into the lie that nothing happened, I think it's very important that you explain to them that these are real human beings. These are real people. These were people that lived in Lagos. These were people who just wanted a better life. Because sometimes I feel like you said, maybe because when people are far removed from something, they don't try and have empathy, or they don't understand, or they don't believe. So I just wanted we wanted it not to be a story that we're just telling, but to make it clear that there are very, very real people who are still in pain and who are still hurt.
Bí ṣé ọ̀dẹ̀ sọ, èmi ní ìgbàgbọ́ pé kò ń ṣe courtesan, kò dẹ̀ kí ń ṣe ọmọọ̀ta àbí àgbèrò ní wọ́n da ibi ẹ̀rú lọ́jọ́ náà. Because èmi náà máa ti ń lọ síbẹ̀ before that time. Àwọn èèyàn pàtàkì, even àwọn èèyàn tí like àwọn superstar tí wọ́n lè dá ọkọ̀, mo meet wọn níbi ibẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹ̀, but mo ní àǹfààní àti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀, but mo rí wọn.
I don't believe that there were cults or touts that scattered the whole protest or caused the fight that broke out or anything like that. Because when I got there, I met people who are of good standard. I met stars that on a normal day I wouldn't even see, but I didn't have the opportunity to talk to them in person. I met people who were from good homes as well. Even I myself, I attended the protest severally, but not just that day.
So tí ẹnìkan kò máa jáde tó máa ní pé bí a news tó ń sọ fake news ni or tó ní pé èèyàn kú irọ́ ni, ẹni tó bá ló mọ̀.
If anyone claims that no one died, that's a lie. It's only if you're affected by what happened that day that you would be able to tell the story properly.
I guess my last question is, of course, unfortunately, may his soul rest in peace, nobody can bring him back.
Amen.
But what does justice of any kind look for you? What, if it would have happened, would look like he didn't die in vain, or somebody tried to make this right or to bring justice to the situation?
Tí ìjọba lọ fà, ṣùgbọ́n ìjọba náà àwa èèyàn náà níjọba. Tí a máa rí ìdájọ́ gidi, kò ń ṣe pé ó tó fẹ́ fún yàn ló máa mú ẹ̀mí yẹn padà, ẹ̀mí ju owó lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n ní ọ̀pọ̀ ìgbà, ìjọba máa rò pé kò sẹ́nìkan àfi ọ̀wọ́n àti Ọlọ́run. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ju oníkálukú wa lọ. Èmi rò pé ìdájọ́ Èkó yìí bí ìjọba kan as in justice kan wọ́n àbí kan tó lè mú ìjọba. Because ọjọ́ kejì ní news ti ń jáde ọ pé kò sẹ́nìbọ̀dì tó kú ní Lekki Toll Gates. Which means àwa sọ èèyàn nù. Even up block pé èèyàn gan, even ládùúgbò mi, èèyàn kán lẹ́sẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìbọn. So tó máa ń sọ pé kò sí èèyàn kan tó kú ní Lekki Toll Gates yẹn, ìlú yìí ò lè dámọ̀.
I honestly don't believe that there's justice in Lagos because everyone knows how the government believe like they are almost the same with God. But money would have probably been what they would use to settle and everything. But life is definitely more than money. And that's not what we were pursuing. If anyone still wants to claim that no one died, then truly there's no justice. Even in my neighborhood, there was someone who got shot that had a gunshot wound on the leg and his leg is broken till date. And that's all the evidence you need to know that things really did happen at the toll gate.
We don't want to upset you any further. And we're very grateful that you came. We know it's not easy.
Not at all.
We know thinking about your family and worrying about your family and still deciding to speak is a big deal. And we're very appreciative.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think people's eyes will definitely be opened by the story because so far, nobody has heard the pain of anybody that has actually been there, which is why they can get away with lying about such a big tragedy. And so we thank you. We thank you very much for coming and for sharing. And we hope that this will impact a lot of people in the right way. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Well, my name is Agweze Ifeanyi Matthew. I'm popularly known as Pistol. I'm from Precious Stone Comedy.
Okay.
I produce comedy skit on YouTube.
So my name is Raimi Olamide, popularly known as Gudo. I'm also a comedian, Precious Stone Comedy as well.
Okay. I can see you guys are wearing Justice t-shirts. Do you want to talk a bit about them?
Yes. I'm still seeking for justice for the Lekki shooting or the Lekki massacre.
Yeah.
Because that's all the justice is justice. That's what it means on our own side. Even though I've not gotten that justice.
Yeah.
I've not gotten it at all.
We're here to listen, so we want you to tell us your experiences on the leading up to the 20th of October 2020 and what happened that day for both of you.
Oh, it's very bad experience. 20th of October 2020 at the Lekki Toll Gates. Very bad. I'm highly disappointed. Nigerian government. I never believed that is my government. Around 6:45 p.m. and Lekki Toll Gate there, and soldier came, and we are just protesters. Armless, we are just with Nigeria flag. So singing, inciting national high time. We believe even if soldier came around, we believe there will not be a massacre or because we are armless, we don't hold gun, we don't hold cutlass. So we just hold Nigeria flag until where they came around. This is my second. We're on the front of stage. Somebody fell beside me. I tried to help me to lift him up. When I rose up, I just saw they shot me on my chest. I saw the military man dressed in full military. He shot me on the chest and the bullet came out from the back. So I try to run, but there's no much strength. So I need to face what I heard. Somebody said, shit, this guy has been shot. So they rushed me to General Hospital Marina. So I got in there and the doctor making putting cough on a commissioner. Giving me the details that this one has been shot on the chest. And the commissioner heard the conversation, but don't just have much strength. So you need to give them order that, okay, they should transfer me to get me that. He even asked me, should they transfer him outside the country? Say, no, they can handle this. So you need to transfer me to Lasut around 1 p.m. 1 a.m. 1 a.m. They took me to Lasut. So I spent 1 week there. So during the days, hearing that soldiers are going from one hospital to another to finish the survivors. So I need to escape from it. Was there. I need to escape from the hospital. So I need to run to somewhere that nobody will be able to locate me. So I abandoned everything. I was there since they actually, when we came around to panel, seeking for the justice since there. And the funny part of it, still yet the government are after us. Still, they attack our YouTube channel. Nigeria government attacked the YouTube channel, Precious Stone Comedy YouTube channel.
Is it because you were talking about?
Yeah, because I did interview. I did interview, showed the whole world what happened. Showed them when I was shot and everything, the pictures and everything. I speak to there. I don't know, I have fracture on my 7th rib here, which doctor told me that I cannot say it's time. So it's going to heal, going to be okay. Yet I'm still in pains. And this is 1 year.
Yeah.
In the next 2 days is 1 year, but still yet we have not seek for the justice. I don't know. And I've never regretted that I was in Lekki Toll Gates. Even if another one came, I would still come out.
Yeah.
And still, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. But what pains me most You shot me and you still attack my source of income. Why? Because I did the interview. So the video, I put it there for a record.
Yeah.
It's not just fine, they will pay me for it. But, okay, they attack the video now. There's nothing I'm going to generate for that video, that actual video. And I know amount of the money I spent and everything. So frustrating. I'm still yet, even today, not getting anything. Justice. And we have people in this country, foreigners, people, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, CNN break the news, which the interviewers spoke, but still yet, there's nothing to show. Nothing. The work, everything where I'm working has been stopped. I can't do anything, so I'd work and nothing. Upload videos maybe twice in a week. I'm not able to avoid that any longer. In 3 weeks now, I'm not even uploading any. No money to go to location because I tint my hair. Severally, the assault is too much on location because I tint my hair. I'm not bad, but I'm not a Yahoo boy. I'm just still not trying to graduate, trying to put no job, nothing, just to set something on my own. I don't know. I don't know. Nobody to support. It's that thing now. Just suffering. Still yet, no justice, nothing. So,
what about you?
On the 20th, however, I would say from the beginning, that morning, the morale was very high because that was when they did Operation Crocodile Smile. So we say, I've never seen a crocodile smiling before. So, okay, if your crocodile is smiling, the youth of crocodile is not smiling. So, we were expecting them maybe they are going to show their face in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what do you want to do? Let us see what you do. We tell even the organizers will tell if they come, we give them tea water, we give them food, we give them drinks. And when they say the crocodile is smiling, the morale was high, but we were not expecting what we saw.
Yeah.
It was like when the boy had the curfew, we were waiting for what was going to be response. A lot of press were already on standby, were sitting on the floor. We just sit down. We waited, they did not come. And when they did not come immediately, I just told my second pistol that let me go upload pictures on our social media. I went under the toll gates. I was sitting down. And what saved me actually that day, because I don't have any gunshot injury, is the mentality I have that, because they were telling us on that stage that the flag will protect us. That when the soldiers come, we should just keep
if
on
they see the flag,
waving the flag and singing the national anthem. And I told my second, I said, I've been to a lot of police barracks. I have seen Nigerian flags tattered, dirty. These people don't respect this flag. So why would how they now come here and I'll be waving this flag and they will not? He said, I don't believe in this flag. But he believed that his father is a police soldier, he has a military background and stuff. But I said, I don't believe in this flag. So immediately, as I was still uploading, I was under the toll gate where I was uploading pictures on our social media. I was expecting Nigeria police. I never expected that soldiers would come.
Yeah.
I was expecting that it is police that they will use to do this kind of stuff. And what I was expecting, actually, I've seen a lot of protests where they will use stray bullets to hit one person, 2 person. That was what I was expecting. And I said, I will not be that 1 person. I will not be that 2 person. I was not expecting the magnitude of what I came. They just stepped from their truck. They started shooting. And like, what is this? Even some youths that they're trying to say they want to come and welcome them. They all have to run back. Because nobody planned, nobody wore bulletproof jacket, nobody. Everybody sit down with this massive gunshot. I've never had such before in my life. I used to hear tower, we hear bow, but I've never had back. Like, is this war? I said, because Leo is still waving his flag at the front. I said, it's the front. Why will you be in the front? Stay in the middle. Why would flag protect you? Stay in the middle. People will die, but it's not us. This gunshot is very many. When I saw the first person that was shot, I said, hey, that was when I did not even die for. I've forgotten that Christian was on my side. Which I was expecting that made him to rise because we were escorting on the ground. When the person is on the phone, I saw that it was shot and it was falling down. Yes, because before I was just seeing bullets flying around. Doing that toll gates and barricade. Seeing when something hits the lights. That's what I was seeing. I was still scared. I've not seen the bullet hit somebody. But when I saw the bullet has hit someone that's falling down, immediately I picked up. And before then, because I've said I had it in my mind that these people are coming to shoot. I've had the place I would hide already. There was a covert I slept overnight because we were there from on the 19th. So we slept over. So the place I slept was a covert, was like a U shape. So that's why I had in mind
to go.
I already had that in mind. So immediately I went. But immediately I went, he went to the front. Because he has that belief already that they cannot shoot. But I know these people will shoot us. I lost communication with my second. I just let me just think of my safety. I called one of my friends I met at that protest gang. That same morning, we exchanged contacts. I stayed on the island. Wow. That's when I remember that. Then we call this person. Now I say, he does not stay in the island. It's the shop that is on the island. But somebody can give me the key. I can sleep outside of the shop. I've not seen I cannot live without him. I believe that he's safe. Getting to the shop where I slept on the floor, and I had to let him go on Twitter. Let him post this picture. I posted this picture. I said, Twitter, do your thing. People were retweeting. I first received the first message that this guy in this picture has been shot and he's at mainland. I did not believe the message. I said, no, this is fake news. This cannot be. Why would I shoot? It's not possible. I was now asking the person because it was two pictures I posted, me and him. And I said, which of this person are you referring to? And I wanted to know if the person had pointed to me and said, that means you're not. I just posted saying something. The person did not reply. See that at the Obalende the next morning, I've not still had from me calls. People were, I can go with my parents, everybody, because the news is already trending. Won't you come home? How will I come home? There are two that came for this. For this thing. Have not heard anything about him. How will I come home? It's not possible. It was on Facebook. I posted this picture on everywhere. It was on Facebook. Someone now confirmed to me that he's at General Hospital, Marina. And I said, truly, this thing has been shot. And on getting to Marina, to get to Marina, because that day was, on the 24th, was another brutal day on its own. Police took their own side. The youths, those on the streets, also took their own side. You see them, the police are shooting, The youth also having a barricade. I know that I had no issues with the youths. And they allowed me pass, but those police, those that now will tell me I have to pass here, I pass here. I'm walking down to Marina. I got to the hospital. You cannot see pistol. They just show me a paper, they wrote critical. I said, what does this mean? Critical. The doctor was still, where is he? It was the nurse that took care of him. Because we have a branded clothes. He's under this vest. We have a branded clothes. That's the same vest we wore on that same day. So they've seen the vest already, and he also subscribed to somebody's YouTube channel. That was also first of all kept me at rest. Because when the nurse, it was that clothes that used to recognize me. She said, are you looking for your second? I also wore this. I said, yes. She said I should keep calm. That is okay. She said I saw a paper that they wrote is critical. She said it's okay that they shot him in the chest. I said, how will you tell me they shot somebody in the chest and telling me it's okay? That's not possible. She said he's responding to treatment. But even now, she now made that statement that while he was at the ambulance gone, he subscribed to. I said he still has the power to pick someone's phone and say he subscribed. That wasn't.
You were relaxed.
I was relaxed. Because they said they have transferred him to lawsuit. And well, if he's okay, he's responding to treatment. Why can't you guys leave him?
Yeah.
And truly that day, the hospital was filled up. Even the passage, people were just lying on the floor. Some were just holding their drip. It was filled up. And I was see the ambulance was still bringing people more.
Was this in the afternoon of the next day?
Yes, afternoon of the next day. I'm not sure it was from Toll Gates. All those ones that were building.
Yeah, because the whole of Lagos was.
Exactly. ambulance were still coming on. So that was not as I can see how everything. So that's why they transferred him to last week. So I had to do it because I cannot move since I've confirmed that is okay. Because they said him too was not even, when I was on his bed, he was shouting, "Where is my second?" Like, what can make him shoot him? What has happened to me? Because he doesn't know anything about me. He has lost his phone. So I said, okay. It was still through Twitter that somebody met him at the hospital that sent his photo to me. That he's responded to treatment. I had to stay as a volunteer for 4 days for everything to calm down. So after the 4 days, I now went to see him last week. And from last week, we ran away from the hospital. When we received that they're playing some games with us. When you discharged us yesterday, we were like, how can you discharge him? Someone is shot in the chest. Yeah. And you're not telling me you just used 4 or 5 days in the hospital. You're not telling me because they said it's Lagos government that will pay for the treatment. So because Lagos government is paying for the treatment, you just want to remove discharge him. You're not going to be taking care of we now said we are not going. And we want to still remain. So it was the next day we received a call that we should leave that hospital. That they want to tie us down there. Say, hey, but this people discharged us yesterday now. It's okay. They say we are going. They say we cannot go. We cannot go. Why can't we go? Maybe you discharged us yesterday. They said, Houston has to return the blood they gave him.
How? The blood just saved my life. Yes. And I need to take it back.
They said the blood bank is...
So just to look for one way.
So they want to return. They need blood.
Can you imagine?
Back. I said, I use the blood that you have not even recovered. That was his exact statement. And I said, okay, how will you donate the blood? They now ask the question. I think I have misplaced it in the process. I've not even gotten him. I've not. Yeah. See if you cannot just take my blood and just.
Yeah, forget it.
And they say that means you cannot go. It was until when they changed the nurse
on duty.
That nurse on duty was still there yesterday when we were discharged. So she was like, what are you guys? You are already ready to go. And you guys should be going.
Yeah,
she does not.
She didn't know.
She has not received the latest. Yeah. So now when we were even going, the security at the door stopped us. No, we cannot go if you don't see letter from official. The nurse now said, and this was let them go. That was how we left the hospital. And from there, I had to go to a safe place.
Yeah.
Because when they say, what can make them I did not see them, but what can make them to play that kind of a game at the hospital? That means maybe that's the information I received that they're after us is genuine. So we went to a safe place. We were there for at least a month plus.
Wow.
And we got out again.
How are you recovering when you were there?
Well, doctor came around. Treating, so that's gradually recovery.
So from there now we are still going to the panel seeking for justice. And just today gone, it's meant to be
the
final judgment. They're telling us that they cannot review the report to us openly.
Wow.
And they will have to report their report to the government.
Before they report to the
No, that is the government that will report to us. That's what
was the point of everything? Panel?
The point... I've not seen
the point.
I've not seen the point at all.
Yeah.
So like they just playing games with us. Like today now, they're doing some strategy. Today now, they're giving compensation to SARS fatality, that's the main reason. Which I know that they're just strategically doing all those ones.
Yeah, they're separating people.
Exactly. Yeah. Right, yes. Exactly.
So you are not a SARS. You don't have a SARS issue. Your own is different.
It's a way to also try and avoid the issue of what happened at Lekki, that they were compensating some, but they've not addressed the second issue.
Exactly.
So I want to ask you, what does justice look like to you? What is your idea of what is justice to you?
Justice. To me, justice.
Especially in this case, for you to be like, okay, justice was served in this case. What does that look like for you?
Justice, because I need a scapegoat. Who ordered this?
Yeah.
You cannot just go, even though I know that the government will never be...
Somebody has to be held responsible.
If you bring one person.
Somebody must be held responsible. They cannot tell us it never happened. They cannot say that. They cannot say that because the panel, the evidence that said that it was hoodlums that were shooting. They are saying that it was the guns. They are saying that the gun that shot is the guns that that cultists are using. When I saw soldiers coming. They are telling me that it's a low velocity,
very
grammar
close,
to
very close to me.
Scatter like low velocity gun. How can they shoot somebody in the chest and survive?
You know, all the text, all the examination, whatever they went to, maybe foreign, maybe within, is already packaged the issue as in, this is what you say, do not agree, or all this kind of this is already.
They're playing games.
They've already decided the story.
And the whole world has already knew this is real. This happens. So but what we need is let somebody be responsible for this. That this is the whole world that they're shooting. This is how it happens. That is, but we don't know how we're going to get this because that is the justice. But many people who are killed in that very day there. So can they just kill them like that? And what about us?
No.
That we are with this injury, fraction, we are still not yet. I don't know.
I want to ask you, when you said that, when people say, oh, it did not happen, it's one thing for, you said you saw police, you saw the army. It's one thing, I think, for government to say those things because maybe they are trying to protect themselves. But when you hear ordinary Nigerians doubting the story or saying, is it possible?
No.
Or could it be true? Or where do you think that comes from? Why do you think people don't believe?
Normally in Nigeria, I'm sorry to say this, sometimes some people are so crazy.
Yeah.
Are you telling me all this thing happens? Is it photo editing? Or I don't even know.
How do you want to fake your injury?
I don't just know. Even my pastor says so. They taught me, even some people in my church, says until where they saw me say, Mugbo. I don't know what's wrong with Nigerians.
Yeah.
This is real. Are we playing? Is that does all this thing look like? Are we acting Hollywood film or we are playing game or comedy or we want to blow or what? I don't know. I'm so crazy.
I want to ask you a specific question because you are so sure that if you are holding the flag, they wouldn't do anything to you. What gave you that idea? What gave you that belief?
The belief is just because my father is a soldier officer before he died. So, and he said, no matter how in the war front, anything protests in the country, no matter how beast the soldiers, whoever the politician, whoever sent people, when you hold the country's flag and you start the national anthem, soldier will surely respect you. They will remain with the honor. You are the boss because that is the respect, the flag and the national anthem. And I knew this is real, and that is how it happens in other countries. So I never knew that in Nigeria.
Yes. They don't have sense. It's true.
So I want to ask you what your life has been like since then. You spoke about it being difficult to work. I wanted to ask you about sort of like something that we don't really talk about as Nigerians, sort of like your mental health.
Yeah.
So when he was explaining what happened, it's almost like you are shaking and you are shaking your head, like remembering exactly what happened to you. And I want to ask you, you had to live in a different space, you had to run away from the hospital, you couldn't really trust people. I wanted to ask how, like mentally, how you've been doing, how you've been coping.
Sometimes if I saw soldier officer, I was like, this is a beast. I don't need to go closer to a beast. I need to, and the way I reason, even if sometimes when I have some strange dreams that are so crazy that even if I saw soldier officer or policeman, I believe that maybe they want to come and shoot me. They want to come and, it's so bad. Even Tina, I don't know what to, as I want to change the mentality. I have been tried severally to, I don't know. So crazy. So crazy. Sometimes I won't sleep, the pains, the fracture. So bad.
What
So
about for
bad.
you? Because there's a palpable sense of anger.
Yes. But like before, I've tried to join the Nigerian Army like 4 times.
Really? Before all of this?
Before all of this.
Oh, wow.
Which after this, I'm so happy I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. Because I don't believe I can be in the soldier. Someone will now order me to come and shoot.
Why did you want to join before?
Yeah, because I believe I love the ruggedity and the charisma. Yes, I'm fighting for something.
Yeah.
And I love to fight for something. Believe. But now say Nigerian, we are not fighting for anything.
No.
Just anyway, I don't believe such a thing can happen in the same country. How will you just order your soldiers to go and shoot?
Kill your people.
So since there, I don't. If I even hear Nigerian is died in book, I don't pity them anymore. I don't feel any. If I say soldier, I was like, okay, are you coming to attack? If I say police with gun, I'm not comfortable. I cannot. It's like they sent you.
Yeah.
Like that gun is for me.
Other than that, how do you feel about just Nigeria in general? Just like the country.
Like looking at it since then,
has your feelings towards the country changed?
I regretted that God created me to this country. I'm not supposed to be here at all. With them are jackpot, but I will go, I will come. No. Even if I jackpot, other people are not able to jackpot and come.
Yeah.
Even if they settled me, whatever, or again, other people that they don't have this privilege income. But I'm still asking one question. They say we have government, president, governor, minister. What are they governing for?
Yeah.
As they are killing the citizen. Who? Is it the grass in Nigeria or the building or the cars that stole our money to buy? I don't know. We have a president, the past leaders, they did such today, will they be able to be alive, to be in that seat? Somebody we voted for. I'm saying, so who did they rule?
Hi, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Yes.
I'm Joshua Samuel by name.
My name is Olami Konsomusi.
Okay. And can you guys tell us a bit about, we'll start with you, about kind of your experience leading up to on the 20th, and then we'll talk about since then.
I've been at the protest ground since 1.5 weeks. I work at the island. I own my personal company.
Okay.
So I left my co-staff at the site, like to come and see my friend at the toll gate. So when I joined them at the first time, I liked their movement. It was coordinated well, and you just feel relief, like you say your mind and you meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
So on that day, I decided to join the group called I Clean Group at the protest ground, which they clean the toll gate every morning and every minute you pick around the toll. So later on 20th of October 2020, I decided to wake in the morning and pick around, which was always our normal duty. So why not pay for it? Just
do it.
Do it willingly. So later on, the MC announced that they got an information that there will be a coffee, and it is 9:00 in the in the night. Yeah. Later on, the MC now announced again, because I was stationed at the front of the stage. So the MC now announced again that the coffee has been cancelled, so we are not going anywhere. Later on, came back to announce again that the military men, they're going to be coffee, and the military men will come towards the toll gate. And I said, they are no longer coming again. It's the policemen that is going to come to approach the protesters, which we had. And the MC said we should practice the way we are going to sit down on the floor when the policemen or the military men arrive. That we should not be aggressive. We should stay calm, and we should sit down on the floor, raise up our flag, and sing the national anthem, which we did the practice. We did it that same morning before the evening. Later on, they now said the military men are not coming again. That is the policemen that is coming to address the protesters. The MC now said, if they come, we should not be aggressive. We should just stay calm, sit down on the floor, and raise up our flag. That we even give them water and food to eat. If they are done saying whatever they have to say to us, we should say, okay. By that time, at 6:30 p.m., I was speaking around the stage. I just saw a lot of people running from the soundfield side towards the toll, shouting, they've come. They were like asking who. Later on, they were like, this is the military men from the soundfield over the leg bridge. They were like shooting, coming towards the toll. From there, like, I could remember that the MC said, if you see any kind of thing, like, you sit down on the floor and raise up your flag, which I did. I sat down in the front of the stage because I was speaking around this stage. Later on, I saw a lot of people shouting, they've killed them, bringing bodies towards the stage, like bringing a lot of people towards the stage. I could count about 10 dead bodies that were lifeless at the front of the stage. Like, after that, the shooting was so much. Later on, the commander of the military guys, his name is F.O. Amota, said we should please go home. We said, no, we're not going on that. After you shoot at us, you've killed us, and we're not going home. And I said, we should please volunteer 5 people to talk to him. Like, people were shouting. They said, we should volunteer 5 people. Everybody were like, no, nobody. Later on, I saw some guys stand at the front of the stage were like talking to him. It was not like, he has children like us, that he is part of this movement, that we should please go home, that the power beyond him asks him to do what he is meant to do. Meaning, there are some set of people that ask them to come and kill the protesters at the toll gate, which we don't know them. And later on, the man left, and they were like carrying those 10 dead bodies, which I saw, towards that Diamond Bank or Access Bank now, towards that side where the toll gate is. Yeah. There's a lot of van there. They were putting bodies there. So later on, they took those people that I saw on the floor there, and they dumped them into the van. Then I now saw this 3 set of military men climbing the stage. Like, they were like big speakers on the stage. They were like iron, holding them up, like holding the speakers up, because the speaker was very heavy. They were like scattering the stage, and everything just fell on me where I was sitting down.
The speaker.
Yeah, everything. So later, I was like, I fell down. I could not know what's
happening.
What's happening. When I could find myself in the van, like forcing myself to come alive.
Yeah, like wake up.
I could not, but I could see a lady crying, like they've shot her son too, and she too was shot. The lady was crying, "You must not die, you must not die." The lady was I couldn't remember, the lady was putting on blue gown. The lady was shot too. I could remember that too. I was like, I could hear the van moving. Like, I could hear the van moving. Like, I was not alive. But I could feel sound, see the van moving. Later on, they finally took us to burning camp. Some people were shot on their hand, which they were alive. They told me that they took us to burning camp. Later on, they were like trying to bring me back to life. Like I could open my eyes then. Later on, they transfer. I could see them carrying me to Marina. I don't know. The guy that was shot in his hand was like helping.
Yeah, something.
Taking us to Marina, but the guy said it's not everyone they took to the Marina General Hospital, because I could count and I could see that lady putting on blue. The lady was not here in the Marina General Hospital. Where is she? We could not find her. They took about 6 of us to the Marina General Hospital, plus me, with the 10 bodies I saw were 11. So later on, I could see only 6 bodies because I was on coma for 7 hours. So I woke up first. So I going around to check, to ask the guy that was beside me, like he was like lying to them, he's my brother. Without that, they will not attend to me. He lied and he registered with his name on the card. Without that, I could have not been alive. He said there were 6, but the rest we could not find them, meaning they took them away. Later on, I was taking drip. I saw a lot of dead bodies being bring inside, apart from the
ones you saw.
Yes, I saw a lot of. There was no space in the hospital. They were putting people on the ground to the extent that the toilet, if you want to flush, everywhere is blood.
Wow.
Like the nurses there, I could notice in the Marina General Hospital, their ward, the nurses' quarters is like, I can't count the story building. It's like about 6, 7 story. They were rushing down like to save life. And I saw a lady, like she was like, how will I put it? Like, okay.
Can I speak Pidgin if you need?
No, not.
Was it Yoruba?
She's Yoruba. She was like, okay, she liked me. So what happened? She was writing. I also saw her writing RIP on people's card with a red pen. The guy beside me was shot. He could not urinate. There was like passing something underneath.
Yeah.
So the guy just died in my presence, and the governor came to give 10,000 to each people. And for me to know that the guy is part of us, the 10,000 was in his
Wow.
hand. And the guy was holding it. He died. I now saw the nurses carrying a truck that has cover. They now put him inside and cover it. They roll him out. Same, but I can't count a lot of people that they took out like that. And the nurse was like, oh, that he had an information that they should not allow anybody to go out of the hospital, that they are coming to finish the survivors in the hospital. So for her to tell me that, like, she was like,
trying to help you.
Not about help. She like crushing on someone.
Okay, yeah. So she liked you.
Yeah. So she told me that I should go and meet the MD. Told me, Shegun, and one guy to go and meet the MD for doctor's report. So if we meet any force outside, we should tender the report. Then the MD said no, that we should wait, meaning there is something coming. And the governor said the hospital bills is free, everything is free, which is a lie. I was on Boxers. I have to, that same 10,000, I have to pay for drugs. I have to just sort out things. I escaped from the hospital through a narrow road, and we trekked with only Boxers on that day from governor's office. You know, Marina General Hospital is closer to the governor's house in Marina. We trekked, and the shooting is still going on. I was trekking every 2 I could not walk. I was trekking every 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We trekked down from Marina down to Lekki back. Like, they are shooting everybody. Like, they are even threatening, like, you should. Don't just know how to put it. After that, we trekked from the hospital down to Lekki Toll Gates back, where we find some people that took us to a church, like closer. I don't want to mention the name. Church closer to this place. We stayed there, we're hiding. They were like DSS looking for people up and down. They were passing, they could not know. We could see them passing, but the pastor said we should not come outside. The pastor really helps a lot. We're there for over 1 week, hiding. A lot of people, a lot. I can't count, about 200, 250 protesters that were like, they can't go back home. You have to accommodate them in the church. Later on, after we met in the church, I'm now meant to go home. I went home. Somebody called that guy, leave your house. You are the next target, which you know more about this. And I met somebody, I will not mention it, and I met somebody that now helped with me hiding for over like 3 months. We've been in the safe house for 3 months. Later on, I went to do X-ray. My hand was broken. This hand, I could not lift anything up. To the extent that when they did the X-ray, I could not even wait to take the report. We have to sneak out again. Because they were like spy all around. The doctor was scared. Like, you have to remove his plate number to risk himself. So that's what I could say and I could remember from now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You very much. What about you, Joshua?
Yeah. I started the protest with my fellow protesters on the 12th. When I started the protest on the 12th, it seems like on that day, when I heard the news, I felt it was something just play, because sometimes I used to say something like that, but we don't used to see it. So when I came across from 1004, I saw that it was real, and I decided to join them from the 12th, but I joined them from the 12th at night, and I went back home that day. So I was so happy, filled with joy, because it's part of what I've been praying for a very long time. I joined them, and since on the 13th to the 20th, I've been there, no going home, stayed there together with them. On that very day, on the 20th, on the 20th, we were told to be at alert that the Nigerian army will be coming around 12. And when we were told then, we were all gathering, like things was going fine. There was no
No violence.
Violence, saying, like, I was even surprised, how come did we come together this way? The love there was so much that you won't even be thinking of going home, or because we are all together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a place we'll sleep. They put there's a little bed. I don't know how to call it here. If you want to sleep, you can go there and sleep. And my own job there was blocking the barricades. Again, there are some stubborn vehicles, even blocking it, they would want to come in, boats, bike, and cars as well. So among those groups, preventing such to happen. So when we were informed around 12, and the Nigerian mail will be coming, I should be prepared. Some people were scared. Some people were like, they want to run home. And in MC, there's a guy that is controlling the mic that was telling us that we should not be afraid. There's a woman too, Mrs. Dabira. She was also among the people on stage giving words to us of encouragement, telling us to stand still. But they warned us we shouldn't go against them. Mm-hmm. Once we see them, we should just sit down, raise our Nigeria flag up, and be reciting our national anthem, something like that. And that was exactly what we did. But the awakening was such, it wasn't, we didn't expect the way they came, because we were expecting them to come since that 12, which we didn't. So we have to wait for even another 4. When 4, 5, I did not say that I've removed my mind, maybe all these people won't come.
They won't come again.
So around after 6, 12, 7 or something like that, just here I started hearing sound. Where is this sound coming from? I was under the toll gate, back of the stage. The stage is facing the audience. I left the audience. I was son of my fellow protester, like we were just discussing, meeting people. And suddenly I saw crowd coming from the other direction, from the southeast side. So close to that, the water side, there's a huge building. Is it owned by some rental hotel? Yeah. That was the direction they are coming from. It was like people were running, that we are very serious, and I running with crowd. I don't usually used to run like that. I must observe what's going on, so I can know my own way to take. So when they are coming, I'll just like go in front, to see what's going on. And I saw that what I first saw was a son of the our Nigeria army on the front. So their car is moving with them as they are coming. Their car is moving. First time when I saw them, they shoot the gun up, and second they fix it to the people running. Even before I went there, people that I saw thinking that maybe he's running, falling, is a lie. Now bullet kill all those ones. Yeah, people that think there's a girl I can recognize on that very day that she was running. She just fell. I just see like maybe crowd running for. But after everything that way, after I saw those, I also run, because our plan was like blocking the whole, like from beginning to the end, the toll gate. Just sit down, blocking it with the barricade, and we will sit down
behind it.
Yeah, and like that was the plan, but it wasn't that, and like it didn't work like that anymore. When they came, even before they reached the toll gate themselves, some people inside are very cold, to speed, hitting some people down. So many, it was just like, it was happening, and to me, it's like nothing is like, it's just like movie to me, because that is such thing, that's the first time it has ever happened in my life to me, physical, like seeing such is so horrible and incredible to me, because lots of life was lost that day. They said nobody died. They killed people. That thing I saw when she was running from the crowd, I think when we were taking a guy that was shot on his thigh under the vehicle they set on the stage, because the stage was set with a vehicle, a white how do they call it? Truck. Yeah, that's what they used to set on the stage. So there's a guy under there that we observed and people were pulling out. So when we went there, we pulled that guy out. That was when taking that guy now outside, we just drop it on the front of those army then. See, we announced, some people were crying, like shouting, how many people soldier will kill, or like people were just
chaotic.
And only what we can do that day was just round ourselves with barricade, because we are not able to block the way we thought anymore. We just cycle round, and those army are just around us. They are just around. Even before they came, I found out that the toll gate light was switched off. It wasn't on, because normally, since I was there, see that day, the light was always active.
Yeah.
But that evening, it was different. It's something that they have planned before they come. And if there's any hoodlums that I can remember that jacked the protest, should be the Nigerian army. Apart from the Nigerian army, with the only other, there's nobody. Like, that's the Nigerian. That's what I saw, and I'm sure and aware of it. I'm not afraid of saying it over and over again. So it was when I was trying to help my other fellow protester. That was when I was shot. But before then, even before making that attempt, when those army came earlier, and we are raising our flag, hitting our chests, those that were able to shout, those that are scared will bend down and be back of some protesters that are standing, among those that are standing. So I confirmed 7 dead bodies. I confirmed 7 bodies on my own. One is only that girl, that very girl. I know that she's dead because she's not breathing. She's not like, she's just like that, teeth open and other short legs. So you can't even explain their injury. You can't even know if it is bullets that caused. It was so as in touching. Mothers, look at people were crying. Ladies, guys. There was a lady that is crying that she lost her boyfriend there. They killed her boyfriend. Those scars now, we are begging because some people that were shot at leg and hand, they are not yet dead. So we are begging the Nigerian army that at least should take these ones that are still having life with them too. There's a hospital called 4 Points, very close there. We should take them there. They refused. Ambulance drove in, and after putting some of those people in the ambulance, the ones around us, because even before putting those people in the ambulance, I think there are some people in the ambulance before we taking the ones we moved from. Yeah. So after putting them in the ambulance, so they asked us, is this all? I said, yes, these are the people we found here. We are even thinking that maybe they want to take them to hospital. So we are saying, with who we take them, who we support them. Like, okay, we volunteer that 2 people will go with them. I was saying to go, but there's a guy there that said no. He said he too want to follow them. Like, people were making suggestions. Many guys say we will go. So the Nigerian army said nobody is going to go with them. They're alone. They are the one who took the ambulance and leave. They refused. None of us followed them. We are back there. My own hope, maybe they'll take them to the hospital. Like, but I don't know any idea. I don't have idea of what happened after moving those people from there. That was the last thing that happened before those army, they were there. Even after the shooting, they stopped for a little minute and somebody came in. I think the person that came in was putting on red berets, somehow thick. And when he came down for his vehicle toward where we were standing, close to the stage, I found that the army that was facing us, they were opening road for him. So that is why I know that maybe he must be of a higher rank. So he came and he was uttering speech out. Didn't we know that there is coffee we should go home. Why are we doing like this? Things will solve. Like he was using in form of when the process when he was saying it, we decide the process when he was saying it, we are saying like, okay, going home now isn't going to solve the amount of souls that you guys have taken from here. Like how many, like is he going to bring back the people that is dead? He said nothing. Just keep quiet. He was just keep on telling us there's a coffee, go home. Things are going to solve. Some people were even like turning, like some people were going home as well. Like some of them want to make up their mind. And it was when he was making that statement, then there was a lady who said that she's not going anywhere, that if they want to kill her, that they should kill her here. And I asked the man that, okay, now you said we should go home and people are dead here. So what are going to happen to all those people that are dead? Are they going to be like that? He said, we can't fight the government. I said, but we did not say anything like knife or cutlass or whatever in our hand. They are the only one fighting us here and we are peaceful, no fighting. The only one fighting us here. After his statement, after whatever he said, he was just talking. After he said what he wanted to say, I think he left. And before he left, he was talking to somebody. I don't know, but it was among the protesters. I was talking to some. And I found out even when he came, he tried to disencourage some of those protesters to go home. But because of the energy and steady focus, and as in that night, it was just one mind. I felt it. Even like people that wanted to go before, they refused. They just stand still. We're all there. See, an unknown man to me came with mufti. So we're putting on black. So we're putting on white. But they are with their rifle, they are with their guns. And the army are staying at the back. They are there, the army also is staying there. It's not that they shift a little back. It's not that they are gone. They are at the back. So now, from here, like taking direction from Lekki to like we are going to 1004 the toll gate now, this side, we move from this side, like this other side now. When those mufti men came, like most all of us, we are on the right side. But the barricade everywhere was just scattered. So at that point when we saw those people, what I was just doing was that because some people get angry and they were like, some went to go and carry stone. They did not throw stone. We just hold the stone. We are waiting for them to release, and anybody that can take action also can take action for there, because we are not ready. Like, it's not that we've seen it all that, okay, we are going to die here. Instead of me to die just like that, at least maybe kill someone with me, or at least I'll make sure that something must happen before I die. That was my own mindset.
Had you been shot at this point?
In this point, I haven't been shot, but that was the point. That was the moment.
Like you just felt like, oh, okay, I'm going to die here.
I've made up my mind. Like anything that wants to happen. That's why I was trying. I was not scared, even helping those that was as much I was able to. It was the guy they shot. I just heard a gunshot. I did not even know that they shot somebody there. So, like 4 guys going close under the toll gate now too, because it's from the other side. People are running. They are running towards this direction, this right side. I told you, they are running towards us. I said, that was when we heard the gunshot. So me now going there with like 3 more guys. I saw the guy. He just tied his cloth on his leg. He was the one I rushed first. I don't know if it was the gunshot I heard that was the person hit, but he was shot on his leg. So I put his hand on my neck, and I was only putting on busters that day because we were ready for action. Like everybody was like, wow. Everybody was, things happened. when I was helping in that the process when I carried him, I was trying to, move. We're even almost to the the crossing point. Just to see a gunshot at my back.
Wow.
It almost burst out on my chest, but God, interviewed, and that was how I felt down with the guy. But he was using, he gets up, but using one leg.
Yeah.
Hobbling.
Scared. And even with that point when I fell down, I got up, I tried to, but I wasn't able to. I was there, people were running. There were the first time 2 guys came to help me, but the more they are hearing food coming and more they can't. They'll just try to help me. Even at the point when I thought that, okay, I'm going with them, they'll just leave me on the floor like that. I have to still help myself a little bit, scrolling on the ground. Even after, because even when I was shot, I ran a little bit before I fell down. Before I even know I was shot, I just felt something cold. I didn't even know it was a bullet. It was the guy that I was holding that told me that blood is coming down from my back.
Wow.
So after I go, I was just felt like maybe this is where my life, this is where they will kill me. Because at that process, I was trying, I'm scared that maybe they should not walk from where they come close and finish me there. But I'm just weak. I'm speechless. At that very moment, all what was just coming down from my eyes was tears. I can't talk anything. Blood was flowing. Suddenly, God just brought someone I know from. He's a guy, I know him at that 1004 area. He was the one who came and helped me. He took me to the place where I ran from to help my other fellow protester. He took me there, and that is where also my brother is. So, after bringing me there, he called my brother and they rushed. When they saw me, they can't even take me to the hospital immediately at that particular moment, because there was a point that Army was looking for anybody that is not injured, that is injured or dead ones, they should take down.
Yeah.
So at that moment, they hide me. People were gathering, but you won't know. But I'm down there. My brother just kept me down and used his clothes to cover my back for the blood to stop bleeding. So when on that process, when we were there, their vehicle passed by. So after we went to the other side, we were waiting for any car that would carry me. There was no car for 5 minutes. I was sitting down there. The only thing I did, I remember I was able to do for my elder fellow protester if I left there. I told them that they shouldn't reason because maybe I'm shot. Because even some of them, they are surprised. How am I even able to talk, even still with bullets? Even with me as well, they do me for my share. I've been she no be bullet, I collect, I've been something like that. So, but I was, by the grace of God, I was able to even still encourage them a little bit as much as I can. They shouldn't give up, that they shouldn't worry about me, I won't die. That for sure, I won't die. That's, even if I'm okay, I have the strength, I'll still come back again. That was the last word I gave them if I left, because I told them that if they give up, what about those that have died?
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, at that point, when saying this, God just brought all this car this vehicle that look like pickup. I don't know how to call it. Is it luxurious or that white car that don't have
just a Hilux at the back?
Yeah, they just put me at the back. My brother Gideon with
your blood brother.
Yeah, my blood. We both were always also together since from the beginning. So with a friend called, we used to call him Starboy. So yeah, both of them took me to Lekki branch, Redditon.
Okay.
Reaching that Redditon, the hospital, I think, is filled up. There's no space. They have to keep me outside at the ground. I'm not the only one on the ground. I met other people there also that are attending to on the ground. So they were like asking the people that brought me, can you talk? And my brother said, yes, he used to talk. He can talk small, like he used to. It's okay. So they were asked, they were asking me like, what happened to me? Where was I shot? And the people that brought me there was telling them, I said, no, they want to hear from my mouth. I told them that I was shot at Lekki and at Lekki Toll Gates by the Nigerian army, and that is why I'm here. So they said, okay. They make an inquiry. I don't know what happened. They just put a drip on my hand. They gave me injection. For that moment, I was just there.
Were you still conscious?
And no, I wasn't conscious throughout.
You're going in and out.
Yeah, I wasn't conscious. So I also remembered, okay, after the person who gave me drip at that Lekki branch came, she said the hospital is filled up, that there's no way they can attend to me here, that they were going to discharge me to their headquarters. So then discharged me to the other hospital already at Idowu Matis. Is it close to Mega Plaza? That was where I was treated. I was along the treatment. They did a surgeon operation for me. I have to tear my back and open my heart to remove the bullet. And thank God I survived it, and here am I today. Even without me saying anything, nobody will know that such things happen to me.
Yeah.
It's for real. I have the pictures, everything, details on me. And that is what I'm suffering to today, because at the point when I was going to the going back to the hospital, I was discharged on the 5th of November. Even the time I was discharged, I wasn't that okay, but I can't just say, because maybe I'm just saying maybe the reason why he's discharged me quick, maybe it's for my own safety or whatever.
Yeah.
And anything he said, I always used to pick the challenge. I used to accept, like, I used to go, yeah. I could have been discharged before that 5th, but he asked me I can't even walk then, so you have to still leave me till on the 5th of
November.
That was when I was discharged to the streets. I'm staying at 1004 with friends of mine. I've been there for years, not just before. So that is where I'm working also. Before staying there as a resident, I've been there working as a housekeeper, keeping apartments. Maybe some people can want to travel out, but they would need someone to give their apartment to put under their care.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing I do. Also keeping apartment clean.
Do you still do that now?
Still do it?
Sure. That's my job in 1004 estate. Before I met some group of people, became friends from there. I was just staying with them for years before this stuff happened.
How are you doing, like, mentally? Because I know, like you said, even though you weren't completely better when you were discharged, eventually you are physically, at least you are able to walk, and you healed eventually. But mentally, how are you doing?
And even physically as well. Are you
Is there any after effect?
I'm sure. Since that day till now, I'm still going through pains. Speaking to you, I'm feeling pains in my heart. It's not, that's why I'm always angry 24 hours. You hardly see me in the midst of people. I don't live the way I live anymore. Like, things has become difficult. I hardly catch up with what I do. Like, even when I force myself to walk, I can't walk. Bending down, it's as if my heart is falling. Still, they said I killed nobody. The left, I'm just living like nobody. Like, there's nobody. I know my way if I'm okay. But since this 1 year, it's just as if the world is upside down on me. Up till now, my mom, I can't let her know what happened to me. I was able to tell my dad, and I beg you not to tell my mom, because I know her condition.
Sorry.
So sorry.
I'm sorry.
For the past 1 year, we have been going through the panel just to make sure justice must be served. But what come out? Like, there's nothing. Even today, they said today is the last day. Today, now we're on the panel. They didn't even bring our issue out. They are just talking about the main reason why they opened the panel. Nothing. I don't even know what's going on. Now, all I'm just asking, I'm just praying for is for my health. I need proper attention. I'm not okay. I'm seriously caught inside. I'm not okay. I'm living by the grace of God. With this body sleeping outside the street, shirtless, under the rain, everything. And you think God has just been the one protecting me since all this while. I'm not fine.
Sorry.
I'm just keeping it to most things I'm keeping it to myself. You don't used to tell my family because, I know the growing up from my family, we are, the way my dad trained us, my mom, that alone make us to, be very strong on our own and have this faith on our own as well. So that's why I've kept it up for my mom since all this while. I just want to make sure, even if she should know that maybe at least I'm okay. Like, she don't be looking at.
Worry.
That's how I find myself. Yeah, being the street, things I've not been doing before, be doing it, smoking. Like, I can still thinking. The place I'm staying, I can't tell people this what's going on with me, because I'm still hiding as well for my own safety. So that's also how it is. Went to the panel today and just make everything look hopeless to me.
I'm so sorry.
I'm really sorry.
I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve, none of you deserved what happened.
Well, before we end, I want to ask both of you, you said justice. You mentioned justice. And
sure, justice.
We've asked everybody, what does justice to you in this situation look like? What does that mean for you? What will happen that will make you say, okay, justice was served in my situation?
Let's start first. I want that toll gate to be a memorial ground. No money to be collected.
Yeah, speaking.
I want it to get to be a memorial ground. No dying to be collected from today.
From there again.
And I want to know what that is shooting. Let the foolish governor come and speak out. I told myself that if he did not speak out, I know for sure God does not sleep. His children too will die. I'm telling him, I'm not scared of him. Someone who will weep over his children. That's what I have to say.
What's up for you?
Well, it's all because this is why all I've been saying is that, and my prayer is that whosoever is responsible for the incident that happened on the 20th of 2020 should never go unpunished. Him and his generation to generation keep on suffering what they are. Do you know how many mothers they are crying, ruining themselves with rappers like that? They keep people in pains. People were in pains, and they were the place they are now. They are happy doing whatever they want. To the extent they are saying, making us live like a slave, putting this fear on us. We can't live the way we want anymore. SARS police, I've so many times that we have been harassed by them, me, my brother. Even recently before this protest started, there are some people, I don't know how they used to call them. It should be police, or they used to use this little vehicle with guns. They used to wear blacks. Something that's that police also. Just see us moving, next thing, your phone, this, that. From there, the way they will harass you, they won't even talk to you, they will be talking to you so that you'll be scared. And we don't used to that is always what used to boost, not just me, my family, we like talking to us with aggressive in form of maybe trying to shout or make us fear. You are boosting the morale we are having already. Like the way we shout back at you, you'll be shocked. So that was what happened. They just saw me and my brother when we went to buy something at CMS. We were coming back and just stop us, just one corner, say enter this and that. Like what? In the way, so we prevent that not to happen. And we were there, even when they took us, they wanted to take us to their station or whatever. I have to make a call and ask and tell my bro, this what's going on, this and that. But the call did not go, so they have to take us to their office. They search our phones, search everything. They didn't say anything. Still, they say for us to stress them to bring us there that we are going to pay 5K before we are going to move out. And the only money I was remaining with our hand there was only 3.5 some to change. It's remaining for us from the market when we went to buy something. So we have to give them the 3,000 there and use the rest to accomplish ourselves back to our destination.
So that's why the protest was personal to you, because you knew.
Sure. Even without that happened to me, I used to news.
Yeah, the story.
I know what's going on in my country. I don't like. It's not my wish and my prayer for my country, because I see this country as a very great country.
Do you still have hope?
Sure, as long as I'm alive, there's much hope.
What about you?
I want you to do me a favor. Don't be scared. Do me a favor. Send this thing out. And I want to send it to somebody again. The Lagos State lawyer said, why can't I die for them to use the toll gate as a memorial grant for me when I was being cross-examined in the toll gate?
Wow.
So can you imagine somebody
saying that?
You know God lives. Àdàbí tí Ọlọ́run bá sí lókè nìkan ló kù. See, Sanwo-Olu and that lawyer's children, if they see, do not live. If God, I don't know what to say. God will surely fight for me. Because I believe in God and God will.
Whoever is responsible, be Sanwo-Olu or whoever, be whatever government. I'm not scared of saying mine. It's like as long as you are not God in this country, wherever they are, we are the ones who put them there. They didn't just came up and get there themselves. We voted them there. So why would they be oppressing us? We put them there just because to make sure that we are living fine, make sure things getting worse.
I was coming back from my house. Like, I came to the island early in the morning. The bike was bringing me out. They arrested him that why is he walking around 4 o'clock in the morning? They seized the bike and asked him to pay 15,000.
Because he's walking.
Walking in the morning.
We're really sorry, and
I really, really am.
People are not happy.
No.
People
they're
are
not
not happy.
They're not.
See, there are a lot of people that do not have something to eat.
Yeah.
But they are going, I should tell you, I'm into real estate. They will buy a house of 120 million. 34% of houses in the island, nobody is living there.
Yeah.
People are sleeping under the bridge. People cannot even drink garri. Like, I see a lot of people. I cry every day. Like, people cannot eat, and you are receiving 30-something million every week, every month. There will be wardrobe allowance, even toilet allowance. They will even collect it, which is not meant to be. People are suffering. For us to divide, let's divide, please. I don't just know. People are suffering. Healthcare too. I saw people in the hospital. Again, I do go to visit. They cannot pay for the bill. They will leave you to die. Like, they will not even attend to you. Even government hospital, if he doesn't have money, let him die. They'll not attend to you at all. People are suffering. People are dying. You say people are dying in this country. It's poverty. It's poverty. No work. My sister graduated. She went to the most expensive school in Bowen University. Till today, she's working at top. How much did his father spend over the school fees? And the guy is working at home for over how many years? People are not happy. And you are coming here to tell us to, man, God will just shall punish them. I'm not even scared about Buhari. He too will suffer. He too will suffer. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
And now we have with us Folarin,
Our learned
Falz,
colleague.
Falana,
Yes.
our learned colleague.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madams. How are you doing?
I want you
We're
to
doing
speak
all
English
right.
like this.
I do speak once in a while. I do speak English.
Fair enough.
Right. So there've been pretty heartbreaking stories throughout today, and that's just a tip of the iceberg, just a very, very small subsection of people whose lives were like changed in the worst way possible on the 20th of October in 2020. And there's been a lot of kind of like, oh, what could have gone better? What could you have done? Oh, these are the mistakes people made. Oh, why didn't we foresee this? Or why didn't we respond like this immediately after? And that's always important. It's important to look back, but I think it's also important to think about how, I don't want to use the phrase move forward, because move forward often means, in Nigerian context, how do you forget? You just have to forge ahead, which I think is nonsense. But also just thinking practically and talking honestly about the ways in which we can, as people, particularly as young Nigerians, figure out what to do about making our voices heard and honoring people whose lives were lost, which is very, very important. It's something we don't culturally do.
Yeah.
But kind of figuring out what to do, how to do, whatever it is that we're thinking of doing, or if there is even anything to do. The next thing to do might be just to keep quiet and be looking. You never know.
Ultimately, what we have to do is to get these bastards out, man.
Yeah, but do you know, so the thing about this is how. So I think a lot about what can we do? And the thing is, I almost struggle with, because what happened last year was, before the 20th, there was like, I won't call it an awakening because it wasn't across the board that everybody woke up. But for people who did, there was a kind of like, actually, maybe we do have a bit of a voice. And the truth is that it ended in massive tragedy. People got injured, people got shot, and they used that to try and silence us. But they didn't really at the same time. There is like a burgeoning sort of slight mindset shift with at least the people who participated, who supported, who were in NSAS. And the question for me has always been, how do you almost sort of bottle that and channel it into different things that move? Because the one thing I learned is that it's us that have ourselves. This idea that we're going to, kind of wait and
without
something is going to change. It's tough. And so there's when you say we have to get them out, I agree with that. But I also think, but what else is there?
What are your options? What are your feasible options?
Yeah, because this getting them out. Okay, look at 2023 now, right? This getting them out, it may involve, some people getting into politics and stuff. Yeah. But the truth is that, and I think that's important, that more different kinds of voices. So people outside the political class, people who are not just like
professional politicians
or veteran, it doesn't have to be the essay of someone that is running for something. Like, how do you have people who just have good ideas?
Because the idea is even to change the way things are being done currently. So you have to have different kinds of people getting
So you have that, but then we also know that youth is not a precursor to anything, really. So the fact that you're young doesn't mean that you can necessarily create change. So there's getting people in. But here's the challenge. You might be able to get people in for certain positions, which I think we can push. A lot of, maybe like State House of Reps thing, councillors thing, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at what happened in local government elections back in July, the truth is, it wasn't really, people will say it was apathy. People were just like, do I really need to participate in a system that is rigged and failing? I still think yes, but I see it very clearly.
Okay, but
and I see it for 2023 as well, because who is running? Let's look at the highest office. The people that at least we know have declared intention to run, are any of those people the change that we need?
Okay, so I think everyone sort of gets caught up in being slightly obsessed about the highest office. But the truth is, the highest office is literally just one office in isolation. That office, ideally, in an ideal system, doesn't hold that much power.
We don't have an ideal system.
That's what I'm saying. But how do we get an ideal system? It's still by the the National Assembly.
Yes, I think
important aspect of government, the legislative arm of government.
But do you know something I've been thinking about? When you look at, for instance, what happened on the 20th of October, we've spoken a lot about Lekki, but people were killed in lots of different places.
Yeah.
We know Lagos because that's where we live, and that's where in Lagos, I can know for sure. In other places, people
there was a full-on massacre in Asaba.
Yeah, in Asaba, in Mushin. I think it was Mushin or Oshodi as well. People got shot.
People got killed around that day.
But there's also a system. I think what has happened is Nigeria punishes you on a federal, state, and local level for doing the right thing or being a good person.
Absolutely.
So, see, for instance, all these discussions about the people who really die. We have a commission of health. We have a state. What they call those people that, like, if someone when people die, you see them in all these CSI type shows where it's just like, oh, this person is the head of. There's like almost like a concerted effort to lie. Like this doesn't work. These conspiracies don't work.
Like medical examiner's office.
These conspiracies don't work if everybody's not cooperating.
Yeah.
So if, for instance, a governor is saying, well, I don't know that this happened. And the medical examiner is like, which is interesting because in my office, we got XYZ number of bodies. It doesn't work. It doesn't work if, a LASMA official, if LASMA isn't saying, well, all of a sudden at midnight, we had this amount of traffic flowing. It doesn't work if, do you understand what I'm saying? There's a concerted effort to create enmity and chaos. Like the state has been captured in essence by kind of devious. It doesn't, when you think about it, it's not just one person coming out to say this didn't happen. It's like just a system now. It is a system of like, oh, I say it doesn't happen, so it didn't happen. Yeah. And that's just working to change that kind of system, I think goes beyond some of our like fancy highfalutin ideas.
Yeah.
I know Fekemi said about local government, it being difficult to get invested. But when you think about it honestly, I would prefer that we had at least tried.
Yeah.
So that we could get to the point where it was like, and it's not as if we didn't try. So for instance, the area Fekemi and I live, half of our problems are under the control of the local government. There's a lot of the issues we complain about. Leave the big federal issues
directly
like
affect
NEPA.
like your house.
They're state and federal.
Is your local government.
We have terrible water where we live. That's a water works issue. That's not a national issue. That's a state issue.
State, yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? We have security issues. That's not national. Yeah, at the point where there are things that are wrong.
As minor as like in Lagos State now, for example, we've been having rains like lately.
Yeah.
I don't know, climate change, whatever. The rains are so like it's a lot. And any small rain, just small rainfall, the entire
the whole city is blocked.
Everywhere is flooded.
We don't have moving drains.
It's filthy. Cars are getting wrecked. It's unbelievable. There's a commissioner for environment.
Of course.
There's a commissioner for there's one more. What's it called? Is it physical? They shall two commissioners directly concerned with that. Tell me why nobody.
Because we don't know who they are. That's the truth. Look, if you ask me now who's the commissioner, I don't know who they are.
But is that just it? Because I also want us to have a conversation about what it means to move as a unit.
Yeah.
So more and more, I've been looking at the way Nigerian politicians operate just on a very cynical level. And what I've noticed is that when you have an understanding of power, you realize that it's very important to get it first. Yeah. When you realize that these guys, we make fun of them. They're just changing parties. but they fought, so they abused themselves. Now everybody's falling into place. What I've noticed is that the political elite are fantastic at maintaining a hold on power because they are not moral absolutists or purists. Let me give you an example. For young Nigerians, the last year has been horrible. I mean,
on every count.
Economic,
Economic,
it's been the worst.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's been the worst. But I realized that when we are then having discussions about what it means for something to change or what it means for Nigeria to change, we start having this morally absolute conversation. So it's just like, you're presented with a newbie, and it's just like, why even bother with the newbie? Because that person can obviously equate to, somebody who has destroyed the country in the past. You never know. And I'm just like, how did we jump? What is this conversation we're having? We don't have an understanding that moving as a unit doesn't mean you have to agree on every single point. It's that you're trying to get something done.
Yeah, like our overall goal is the same.
And I've realized that it's something where, in a bid to constantly assert ourselves on our individuality and the fact that we are very different people and the fact that we have very different beliefs, what we've done is we've made it very clear that we are not united on anything. And that means it's very easy to sow discord. And I think that's what made the protest leading up until the 20th of October extremely scary. That for the first time ever, our generation,
we're all on something.
Just seemed like we were on code. For the first time, everybody was on code. Like, look, do you know what we don't? Yeah, do you know what we don't like? And I think before we even get to these conversations about changing the government, it's like, how do you get people to be on code about what needs to happen on a very broad scale? So what I've noticed is that when you're having discussions, what we do very quickly is we want to start drilling down. So imagine a situation where we're talking about SARS and police brutality and the way in which the Nigerian security apparatus is run. And all of a sudden people are saying, but I don't even believe in capital punishment. And I'm just like,
How did we get
No. You don't understand. The issue at hand is we need police reform. And we're working for police one step at a time. We need to be on code. Everybody agrees that we need police reform. And I've realized that it's very disheartening that.
So I think I completely understand what you're saying now. What we need to do is continue to sort of rearrange and say, okay, guys, let's focus. This is what we're on right now. Because even during the protests, if you looked around a bit, you would see sort of differently written placards and some people saying stuff like, "Oh, there's no light, but we came for SARS though." You get, so it's almost inevitable that there will be people saying, "Oh, I believe in this, I believe in that." Yeah, but you still just kind of have to continue to redirect and say, "Okay, come. This is our focus for now." We will get there. Eventually. We will get to the point where we're now saying, okay, come, we need hospitals.
But we can look at it in
FK is saying focus on what?
Because I do think that like so NSAS was about police brutality and such, but what the thing that is trying to light on was that our governance is so bad that we can be in a system where this is just allowed to happen and nobody will stop it.
No doubt about that.
Because in a system where there's police brutality, but there are consequences, that is a different conversation.
Exactly.
In a system where, there's police brutality, but there's justice, that is also a different, we're in a place where, look, we're afraid to go out and say, no, you can't, a legal right that you have, for example, to protest, you can't do it. And so it is difficult to say that this is what we're focusing on, which is police brutality, because everything is about the bad system that we have. And we can all agree on that.
Okay, so,
I think the thing now is that within this bad system, everybody is going to care about something more than the other thing. And so the question for me is always, okay, how do you... And the thing is, we like in this room cannot channel it. I'm talking, when I say, how do you, I mean like all of us, how do we kind of channel this energy in ways where it can be like, okay, me and you care about, by and large, the justice system. Me and you, by and large, care about the fact that there's no light. Like, how do we bring that energy where we're all coming together on things into, even if it's a very basic way where people can at least start to think or talk about what we can do. Because where I always fall down, like where I always feel discouraged is, yes, we have a voice, yes, we have power. And I always just think, yeah, but what can we do? It's a tough mental time.
A big part of that energy is also like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
there's
fucking
also a lot of anger. There's a lot of anger that is like bubbling up. And I think at some point we have to kind of help each other out. Because a lot of people are feeling this way. So, and it doesn't matter if you're involved or not, you just kind of feel it. You just kind of feel it. So yeah, but
thank you, Falari, for coming. Thank you guys for listening. And we really do hope that we've gotten you thinking. It's really important to us that the stories of people whose lives were changed are shared, and that's why we thought we needed to have this episode. And we will see you next week.